Hello, welcome to another weekly update for Game of Games. Today, I'm gonna start off by hopping right into paintball, so let's grab that paintball cartridge, stick it in there, go like we usually do, and we can see that there's quite the change. The main one being, oh look, the gun works now. It's still on the timer because I haven't set the trigger yet. It won't be that hard. Um, but yeah, now I can aim and shoot things with the gun. um, and I can grab it properly and everything. And then I made a fun little thing that made the splash effects work on all the obstacles. Uh, it's still kind of iffy on some of them, but yeah. But anywho, see, particle effects still work like that. They're pretty targeted. It's pretty cool actually. It works. Um, Stuff like that. And then there was a bug last time that we didn't show, but there was a bug that basically messed with some colliders, and the camera would actually just not work. In not the camera, the gun would just not work with the obstacles nearby. But I fixed that by removing the old shack and making a new shack, and you can walk inside the shack, and it will have like cool stuff in it for you to look at and stuff like that. So anywho, that's pretty much for paintball. Uh, Gun holdy working now, which surprisingly was actually a pretty big deal getting that working, because grabbing effects are annoying. And then fixing that, and then I moved some. Oh, I also added some dirt effects around the stuff that's in the ground to make it look a little bit more realistic. So yeah. Oh, and then effects there. So yeah. All right. So now I will send off to Caleb so that he can show you the progress on the burger game.
Alrighty, hello, welcome to the Burger Game for this update. This week was also just about getting progress done on the magnet logic. If I go ahead and run a simulation, you can kind of see with this stack, they kind of snap to each other now. So very neat. Even like this is a good demonstration of it. Um, this week, I think 3 systems I created just for iteration and figure out what worked and then scrapping stuff and yada yada. Um, Another thing is that burger pieces and the magnet in general were completely refactored because go ahead and let this play while I talk. The burger pieces that were falling um, were very large, and that's because the way I don't know Unreal works with getting like primitive components and trying to spawn actors for classes is that does not respect desired scaling. So I had to like add like a root system, which was not necessarily hard. It was just time consuming and a learning process. That also came with refactoring Game Manager just a tiny bit, but I forgot last week all that I did, so I made sure to make a list this week to give the long explanation. As you can probably see, when the burgers are falling, there's now linear damping. Whenever they fall, this is disabled. Whenever they hit a surface, there's a entire code here now for on component hit with lots of fun stuff, and that's within there. It also changes the magnet behavior, as in like increasing the magnet. Magnet is off while the burger pieces fall. Once they actually hit something, and activates the magnet. So when they're stacked on the plate, they'll more like less likely to fall over as easily. Um, it also stops the velocity and angular velocity of the burger pieces of both what it hits and itself, just so it doesn't really mess with the tower as much when it falls. I also changed magnets to use the nearest primitive component to it, which doesn't sound all that hard, but apparently Unreal does not natively support that, so I had to build a very fun system for it, which I believe is what all of this is, of detecting the closest component to it. The closest thing we had to that in our project already was in the VR template. The grabbing uses that logic as well, but that wasn't really usable to be able to just transfer here. So I made a new one. Um, Obviously, with the on component hit and whatnot I showed here, I made its falling logic, but then I completely scrapped that in response. for more of an approach of like tops. So now the burger stack kind of knows what the top thing is. So whenever something hits the top stack, it will set itself as top, sets the thing below it as not top, and it'll stack like you saw in the simulation. This is because I don't want a burger piece hitting midway through the stack and the thing like bugging out by trying to stack it in the middle of stuff. So it properly. It's honestly a really bad code the way it does it. Currently, I want to refactor it because it's not really scalable. But right now, it kind of does that. Um, what else did I do? I think I mentioned everything looking at my list. But yeah, next week is going to be focused on finalizing all of this and getting it to a state where it's good enough because, quite frankly, this has taken far too long. We need to move on. Um, there's also a weird, why I'm not showing it in game is because when I refactor the burger pieces to have the scaling thing, apparently Unreal has this really fun quirk called like collision doesn't really work when it's parented twice. So now I have to completely reapproach the way I do the plate grabbing. So that's very fun and not at all annoying. And then next week, like I said, I'd probably refactor the top logic with detecting what's on the top and what's not. Because it's currently top down, I want to make it down up so we can better do scoring in the future. But that's it for me.
Sounds like we just have lots of issues with being able to grab stuff. Logic keeps
Yep.
overlapping and messing stuff up.
Yep, we sure do. It's very fun.
Yeah, it seems like such a simple thing, but anywho, I think that's good. Alright, we will see you next week. Thank you very much. Goodbye.